Well, hey everybody, John Ritlin here, and with 2019 halfway over soon, in 6 months exactly, we will have 2020 vision for an entire year. Bad joke, I know, but I had to make it. It's what I had to do. I'm taking a look at my 20 favorite New Japan matches of 2019, but before, I want to say that some people think I praise New Japan a little bit too much. I also offer criticisms towards New Japan. I am a fan of 34, plus years and going, not just of New Japan, but of WWE, old WCW, even some old AWA, WCCW, even the modern stuff, some modern Ring of Honor, even some of the AEW stuff. I offer criticism and fair, assessments of a lot of things. At least in my opinion, they're fair. Sometimes they get fired up. I think we all do. We all have our favorites and least favorites and all that stuff. I will say with New Japan, they've done some great shows. They've done some excellent shows. They've done some good shows. They've also done some shows that have been kind of messy. Not everything has been perfect. The Elite did leave a big bit of a hole that I think has been filled and built upon by talents that maybe were kind of overlooked by when the Elite were there. Now, I'll do a video on the Elite at some point. Not a fair assessment and everything, but I'll get to that at some point. A lot of the shows were really, really good. Sure, some of the matches were hit and miss. The only thing that I wish New Japan would focus on is bolstering both their tag team divisions, their junior heavyweight and their heavyweight tag team divisions. As good as the teams are that are involved, you can only have the same teams face off so many times before you get to like kind of having everything samey. Even though the matches are good, we know who's going to win, or we know this. Okay, fans have seen it before, so hopefully they can bolster that in the coming months, and maybe even by Wrestle Kingdom, we'll see. But taking a look at these 6 months, I don't have any tag title matches on here. Not that none of them are bad, but the bar is set pretty goddamn high as far as great match quality in New Japan. And I have reviewed all these fairly in depth on other reviews and everything, and I will put a playlist at the very end. So I'm just going to really mention these. I'm going to go over very, very briefly why I like them. So this video may not be as long as normal. But I did want to just start off by saying that I understand why people have criticisms of New Japan and other wrestling companies. And I want to say that I have my own criticisms, but I do love New Japan. Hence why I got a couple pieces of merch. And there we go. So anyway, we're starting off with number 20, Yuji Nagata versus Tomohiro Ishii from night 1 of the New Japan Cup. It was just two big guys hating each other, two tanks. Nagata in his 50s still having kicks like just cannon fire. Ishii with no neck and just friggin' strong head, and just the fact they were battering the piss out of each other. It was just two bulls fighting each other. It was absolutely great. And then we get for New Japan Dash just a couple months before, Will Ospreay, Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii versus Kushida. One of Kushida's last matches that he had on New Japan World before he went to NXT. So Kushida, Jeff Cobb, and Yuji Nagata. And this was kind of it's from New Japan Dash, as I said, kind of a way to hype up Ishii and Nagata as they would eventually face off in the New Japan Cup a little bit later, a couple months later. And what was special about this is it was just a really, really fun match. Like, it seemed like almost like a collective match. Like, okay, we're just going to throw these guys in here. But it built up on the whole Ospreay-Cobb match that they would have at G1 Supercard, which is not on this list, but was a pretty good match. And this was enjoyable. I did have a lot of fun with this. I thought it was very impressive and a very well-flowing tag match. It was really damn good, and it's something that I encourage you guys to go check out. And then we go to number 18, Jay White versus Okada, Wrestle Kingdom 13. Not as good as another match I would have a little bit later, and I will have that one on this list. But it was damn good, and it was nice that they were finally going all in. No, not that all in, on Jay White being a top heel. However you feel about Jay White's in-ring work, I think he's pretty good. I don't think he's the best in the ring. I don't even think he's close. But I think as far as a heel, I think he can get the right amount of heat. Him and MJF are in contention for like the best heel work in wrestling currently. Maybe put Tommaso Ciampa in there also, but I think Tommaso Ciampa, even if he comes back, is probably going to be seen as a babyface because it's going to be hard to boo the guy because of his redemption story. But focusing on, MJF and Jay White, they can really get you to hate them. And whether they'll like that in real life or not, they really just are that good. Jay White's offense is very, very good. I like Snap Saito suplex and all that stuff and everything, but, praise to Jay White aside. This was good stuff because you had built it up kind of from like the G1 like a number of months earlier. And then Jay White, caused Gato where Gato, turned on Okada and joined Jay White, breathed with the Switchblade era, all that. And this was kind of the way to cement Jay White, righting the wrong from like last year when he lost to Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom 12 when the Intercontinental title was on the line. They went all in on Jay White. He won here. And it was good stuff. It was really good stuff. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was damn good. And I thought for the fact of how loaded Wrestle Kingdom 13 was, they did a good job here. Then we go to number 17, Tomohiro Ishii versus Evil, Dontaku Night 2, Electric Boogaloo. I was curious. I actually thought Evil was going to win here. But I thought, you know what? They might be going a bit more all, I guess I'm saying all in because I'm thinking of that show, but all in on Ishii, maybe getting one more run. Like, he's the current never openweight champion, or at least he was like sometime after this, in a pretty good match against Taichi. But this was a good match. I actually thought they were going to give it to Evil. They didn't. Ishii did win. I liked it. I thought it was very, very good, especially for age difference, experience difference, but also just the fact they worked well together. Number 16, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kenny Omega, Wrestle Kingdom 13. Tanahashi was the final boss. Omega could not beat him. Yes, video games. We get it, Kenny. You play video games. May have an unpopular wrestling opinion on Kenny Omega and the Elite at some point. Oh boy, that one's going to get me in trouble. But anyway, this was a good match. It was really well done. It was Tanahashi having won the G1. Could he beat Kenny Omega? He did. We all felt that Kenny Omega was leaving. And when Tanahashi won, that pretty much cemented the fact that Omega was leaving, which I think is fair. And I might actually do something about Kenny Omega's title reign at some point. His IWGP title reign, unless I already did it. I've done a lot of videos, so they kind of blend together. I personally feel, just for a little tease, that Omega's title reign was kind of a flop. Even though he worked hard and that match with Okada was amazing, everything after that wasn't really all that good. This is a nice way to finish it off. And Tanahashi getting one more run. Of course, after he beat, he beat Kenny Omega, and he only held it until number 15, Tanahashi versus Jay White, New Beginning in Osaka. Jay White winning the title was a bit shocking. Now, I had a feeling they were going to do it. I would have almost rather had Tanahashi versus Okada at G1 Supercard. But I get why they didn't do that. Because Jay White, they were pushing Jay White. They've been pushing him basically since pretty much the summer. Like, it's like from his time as U.S. champion, and once he lost it to Juice, and he had such a great run in the G1, and then having Gato join him, they had to go completely, had to push all their chips in. They had to just bet everything on Jay White. And whether Jay White was a great champion or not, I will say that at least he was a credible heel champion. And he'll get his chance to be a champion again. And I don't want any Jay White fangirls to dump on me. I like Jay White. I don't think he was a great IWGP heavyweight champion, but I'll take his reign over Omega's. Let's say that much, even though it was only 2 months. So, yeah, it was good stuff. Jay White won. And then he was cutting a promo, and the crowd was all in shock, and people were like, oh, the crowd's in shock. They hate him. I also don't think they understood him all that much. Language barrier and all that. I'm not knocking at Japanese fans, but I think that's what it was. But it was great stuff, and Jay White won. New IWGP heavyweight champion. And then number 14, Jon Moxley versus Juice Robinson. Best of Super Juniors finals for the U.S. title. I mean, it wasn't the Best of Super Juniors finals match, but it was on that show. And Jon Moxley's first match since leaving WWE, and it was great. It was great. The biting, busting over the eyebrow. Juice freaking smashing his tailbone into the mat or into the ring floor. The floor, like the actual cement floor, wasn't even the ring floor. Dear God, Juice, don't die, please. You're great. Please don't hurt yourself anymore. But it was great because Juice kicked out of the whole thing what used to be the Dirty Deeds. The double arm DDT, and Moxley's like, okay, picks him up, big old spike, double arm DDT, 1, 2, 3. This is good stuff. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Jon Moxley as U.S. champion. He's probably going to drop it to Juice at maybe not Royal Quest. He will drop it just before AEW starts their TNT deal. So he's only going to have it for at the most 3 months. But hey, great stuff. I almost actually wish Moxley would have signed with New Japan. It would have been more interesting, but it's good stuff. It was a great match for Moxley to first be part of, for his first match outside of WWE. Number 13, Will Ospreay versus Kota Ibushi, Wrestle Kingdom 13. Never Openweight Championship. And Kota Ibushi had just won the title from Hiroki Goto at I believe it was the Road to Tokyo Dome show. No. I think it was the World Tag League Finals. Excuse me. Some of those shows kind of blended together. I think it was World Tag League Finals. But yeah, Kota Ibushi, he was champion, and then he faced off against Will Ospreay, and this had the hidden blade, the elbow where, Will Ospreay takes a pad off and then just an elbow strike to the back of the head. And apparently Kota Ibushi suffered a excuse me, a concussion at some point. Poor Kota. Thankfully he's okay. Though I'll talk about another scary bump he took later. It was good. It was a good match, and these two were working. Come on, it was Ospreay versus Kota Ibushi. Shut up and take my money. So then we go to number 12. Okada versus Tomohiro Ishii, New Japan Cup Night 9. Chaos versus Chaos. Ishii almost won. I don't want to say he was not selling a lot of Okada's offense, but he was coming back from a lot of it and saying, no, you can't hurt me, you can't do this. Eventually Okada would beat him, as would be expected, even though Ishii going into the finals wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. It had to be Okada. We had to do this redemption storyline. But it was damn good storytelling, and Ishii did not look weak at all. And then we go number 11. Tetsuya Naito versus Kota Ibushi, New Japan Cup Night 3. Yeah, this was something. This happened. This was in the first round of the New Japan Cup. Thanks for making me pick this. I picked Kota Ibushi to win the New Japan Cup. Boy, I was a fucking idiot for picking that. He was out in the second round, which I'll cover here in a bit. But this was a good match, as you would expect. They were dropping each other on their necks, beating each other up, the strikes, the hard kicks, all the stuff that they do. What else do you expect? Naito and Ibushi may be having a feud of the year, and they've only had 3 matches. And it's been spread out from March, April, June. I think they're going to face off in the G1. I think they're in the same block. I kind of forgot who was in what block, but regardless, it's going to be very interesting to see Naito and they're in different blocks. It'll be Naito and Ibushi in the finals, I think. I did a G1 predictions, by the way, which I don't think I could put a link up here, but check that out in the playlist I'll put at the end. But I'm very excited to see if Naito and Ibushi will have another match. But this was good stuff. And it was kind of a way to set up, because Naito was a current IWGP Intercontinental Champion at the time, and since Ibushi beat him, then we build to the match at G1 Supercard. We now get into the top 10. Ospreay versus Rocky Romero, Best of Super Juniors, Night 4. Chaos versus Chaos. Rocky trying to prove that he can still go, even though he's in his mid to later 30s. I think mid-30s, actually. I don't want to try to write the guy off. And I don't want to be ageist. The guy's fucking incredible in the ring. Rocky Romero may have been the MVP of this. Ospreay may have had the better matches overall. Rocky was the MVP here and did have great performances. He really did. He didn't come close to winning it, but he did have some good matches, including one I'm going to mention here a little bit later. I know I said that a lot, but still like to tease for a little later. This was fun. Ospreay, Romero, great match. Looked like Romero might win. Nope, Ospreay just ran through everybody like butter here. Knife through butter. It was great. And speaking of the Best of Super Juniors, we go to Shingo versus Shogo. I don't know, that would be a weird combination. Best of Super Juniors Night 1. Almost a Best of Super Juniors final. Would have been interesting to see these guys in the finals, but no. My God, this was wonderful. This was wonderful. Like, even though Shingo basically ran through everybody, until the finals, that is, Show had some amazing performances as well. This may have been, I think this overall was a better tournament than last year's, even though last year's had some great matches. I didn't like the VOD format of some of them, the fixed camera, all that stuff. And they didn't upload them quick enough, so I liked that all of them were live, and I got to watch some of them on delay, but I got to watch most of them live. And it was great stuff. It really was. Shingo looking like a beast. Show looking like he belonged. Very, very, very impressive. Then we go number 8. Will Ospreay versus Dragon Lee at Dominion. Yes, Will Ospreay beat Shingo Takagi in the finals of the Best Super Juniors and faced Dragon Lee. This was not better than the finals match, and I will talk about that a little bit later, but it was still a good match. It was just two guys doing some incredible flippy shit with some great wrestling as well and some good storytelling. How can you go wrong with this? Give us Dragon Lee versus Hiromu Takahashi soon, you cowards. Well, as soon as Hiromu's better. Please, Hiromu, be better. We want to see you back. I want to see him 100%, but God, I miss seeing Hiromu Takahashi. But anyway, number 7, Kota Ibushi versus Tetsuya Naito G1 Supercard IWGP Intercontinental Championship. They were dropping each other on their heads more, except in front of a worldwide audience and a bigger audience. And dear God, would you stop dropping everybody on their goddamn heads, including yourself? Why do you hate your necks so much? Their hatred of their own necks aside, great match. Kota Ibushi won. I was very, very happy to see. it meant a whole lot to him. I don't like hot potato in titles so much. I know Naito had only had it for a few months. But he clearly wanted to be a double champion, but he didn't really want the belt. He was just disrespected. Kota wanted to bring prominence back to it. And this was the first step in doing so, and it was fun. Number 6, Okada versus Sonata. New Japan Cup Finals. I was rooting for Sonata to win. Nothing against Okada. Nothing against Okada at all. You know, right? I have the shirt. And I love Okada. He's one of my top 10 wrestlers in the world. If I wanted to do a top 10 current wrestlers, Okada would probably be top 10. Okada would have to be top 5 probably. Because I rarely get bored watching an Okada match, even though I will talk about 25 disappointing pay-per-view matches. And I'm going to mention one with Okada, and people aren't going to like it, but I have my reasons. But anyway, it was great stuff. It was Okada, Sonata, they're around the same age. A great amount of experience with both of them. Could Sonata beat him? No, he didn't, but he looked like he belonged. It was really good. It was really good stuff. Now we get to the top 5. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kota Ibushi. New Japan Cup Night 7. Sabre Jr. beat Ibushi. And everybody's brackets are freaking busted. Now, I will say, I remember doing this review, and I actually think this was my most popular review besides the New Japan Cup Finals of, like, you know, that entire tournament, because I covered everything. It was a really, really good match. I was just very surprised Zack Sabre Jr. won, but it told a good story of like, okay, maybe Kota Ibushi wasn't ready yet, because would they really have given Kota Ibushi the title at G1 Supercard? Would people have bought into it? They probably would have, but they want to save it. I hope they give Kota Ibushi the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at some point, because he actually signed a contract with New Japan. But this was a good match, and Zack Sabre Jr. is a freaking beast. Just the submissions, all the skills, all the goddamn skills, and it was amazing. It was great stuff. Zack Sabre Jr. also had a great New Japan Cup. Almost repeated as the winner. Then didn't. He came really, really close. Gross. But the reason he beat Kota Ibushi, of course, is because he fights with his brain and undying hatred, it's an undying or unrelenting hatred. I think it's an undying hatred of the British Conservative Party. And it's a great shirt, and I have to get it. I think I'm going to have to get that at some point. I'll see what my paychecks are for the next bit. But anyway, Rocky Romero versus ELP, El Phantasmo. This is match number 4. Best of Super Juniors, night 9. Rocky's best performance in the tournament. Probably the best of the entire tournament till the finals. Rocky and ELP tore it up here. And the Korakuen Hall crowd wanted to see Rocky win. And when he finally tapped out ELP, I was shocked. I was floored. But it was great, and it was great to see Rocky Romero get that spotlight as he deserves it. He's worked hard for years and years and years, and he's a great commentator, great wrestler. You know, it's great all around. Rocky is great. If I could meet a New Japan star, I would actually like to meet Rocky Romero and just say, man, you're entertaining. The fact that you can wrestle so well and how entertaining you are, it's absolutely great. But anyway, that aside, it was a great match. Rocky Romero winning. Korakuen went nuts, and it was great stuff. And it showed validation for them having faith in Rocky, and Rocky having faith in himself. And the fans being reminded, most fans being reminded just how good Rocky is in the ring. Number 3, Tetsuya Naito versus Kota Ibushi. Dominion, IWGP Intercontinental Championship. Why do you hate your necks so much? Stop hating your necks. That freaking German suplex where Kota's head did this. It twisted. The human neck is not meant to bend that way. I've seen movies where the human neck bends that way, and most of them are body horror effects. And moving on from this very, very disturbing turn. Speaking of disturbing turns, Kota, what the fuck, man? Not that Kota's going to watch this, but yeah, Kota and Naito tore it up here, and it was incredible, and I'm amazed that that nobody died in this, especially Kota. It was great, and Naito winning, oh god, I was disappointed, but I did say whoever lost this match would win the G1, and I think we're going to get Kota Ibushi win the G1. We'll see. It was a great match. It's uncomfortable, but it's a great match. And then we go to Jay White versus Okada, G1 Supercard, at number 2. Okada reclaims the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It was great. Jay White looked like his equal. He did look like his equal. Gato's interference was 50-50, because sometimes he would interfere, and other times when he could have interfered, he didn't. He just let stuff happen, like, oh, well, it's not my spot to interfere, so I'm just going to do this, and this, and this, and this. And Okada won. But it took a lot of rainmakers. It took a lot of big moves. Jay White looked strong in defeat, and Okada got to celebrate. And he got to cut a pretty good promo after the show went off. He got to cut a pretty good promo in English. So, Yo Okada, and I would love to see him hold the title to Wrestle Kingdom because I think that's what's going to happen. And one of the two, maybe Jay White beats him, maybe the winner of G1, maybe we have Naito actually be a dual champion. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. But yeah, Jay White and Okada is at number 2, and number 1, Will Ospreay versus Shingo Takagi, Best of Super Juniors finals. What the fuck else was it going to be? It sure as fuck wasn't going to be Chase Owens versus Juice on the New Japan Cup finals for the U.S. title, because that was overbooked like crazy, and I ain't fucking putting a Chase Owens match in my countdown. Sorry, I have nothing against Chase Owens as a person. I'm not doing that. But my, just blasé, attitude towards Chase Owens' side, Ospreay and Shingo, it was great. I had Shingo winning. I was like, Shingo's going to win. He's going to challenge Dragon Lee. He's going to win the title, and he's going to go from there. Will Ospreay beat him. That closing sequence where he hit the Oscar and then hit the Stormbreaker, I'm just like, the 1, 2, 3, and I'm just like, I think everybody was shocked. Or most people were. And nothing against Will Ospreay. I actually love the fact that he won. It was great. I'm just surprised that they had Shingo lose, but, from here, maybe they're going to Shingo transition into the heavyweight division. He faced Kojima at Dominion in a pretty good match, and he's going to be in the G1. So I think things are looking up here, and you can only do an undefeated streak for so goddamn long, so maybe it was the right time to actually end it. But yeah, Will Ospreay wins Best of Super Juniors finals, or Best Super Juniors tournament, beats Dragon Lee, he's current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and it's great stuff, and those are my matches, my picks for the favorite New Japan matches of 2019 so far. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I will see you soon.